What's up, guys? Back again with another video. It's been a little bit, but I wanted to make a video about Patreon and GSPro courses. You may have heard something about that before. If you're not familiar with what people are talking about, hopefully this video can clear it up for you. I've also heard a few misconceptions about it, so I wanted to clear that up as well. So let's get right into it. First of all, if you haven't heard of Patreon before, it is basically a platform that allows different types of creators to basically offer subscriptions to their work. So it ranges from all types of content creators or whatever you are, but in the case of GSPro, we are talking about course designers. And so there are, at this time, I believe just 5 course designers that have Patreon accounts. And so who are these people? So these are individuals that are licensed to use OPCD course creation tools in a commercial application. So in other words, these are people that are able to create GSPro courses for money. Overall, there's about 20 people roughly that have met the requirements to be able to sell their services. Not all of them necessarily do. So the 5 that are on Patreon are probably your best bet if you're looking to hire them to build a course. These are not all of them, but several of them are making a full-time living. And this is their main job, is to design GSPro courses. As far as I'm aware, and I apologize if I missed somebody, but at the time of this video, there are 5 that I know of. And so that is TechBud, RunPudRun, Pac-Man, the Golf Boy, and the Great Bangini. Now they are using their online handles or usernames. That way you can also find them in the SGT Discord, which is kind of the main GSPro forum. They, are all active there, as you can imagine. So if you're interested in subscribing, how would you find them? Well, I'll put links down in the video description, but otherwise, you can just go to patreon.com and in Find Creator, just type in GSPro and you will find them pretty easily coming up at the top. And so if you click on one of them, you're pretty much going to see 2 pages. One is like a membership level. Most of them have a couple different membership levels that you can subscribe at that offer different things at different levels. And then they usually have an About page that is typically where they will list all of the courses on their private course server. And that is typically why you would subscribe, is because you want to access these courses. And so that's kind of what you're going to see on Patreon. So back to the membership levels, generally there's like a basic level, and then sometimes they'll even offer discounts on course builds. Some of them do like monthly raffles for course builds. So all of those details will be in the membership levels and the About page. You'd have to check them out one by one and kind of see what you're getting for your subscription. So let's talk about, once you subscribe, how you access these courses, because they're not in the GSPro game. So basically, you're going to choose your subscription level, and you'll be required to sign in to Patreon and do a typical checkout. I'm using, for this example, TechBud. I just did his $5 a month subscription. It just tells me it's going to charge me every month $5. And once you complete that checkout, then you'll have his actual Patreon page kind of unlocked, and you'll see everything in there. And at the top, he has pinned a post with his link to his course server, and that's what you're looking for. Basically, you'll need to copy that link and paste it into GSPro. But before I show you that, just a quick note about these course server links. You guys want to keep those private. Please don't share them with anybody. Like I said, a lot of these guys are making their income doing this and supporting their families, so it's not cool. Keep those links to yourself. And so anyways, you're going to copy that link, and you're going to go to local match and see your course list. At the far right, you're going to see a little icon. You can click on that. That will pop up your course servers. You should have a couple there that are just the standard GSPro course servers. but you have a place to paste that link in and add it. You're going to do that there, and then go into the GSPro settings and hit reload courses. That'll kind of refresh everything, and then you can go back to local match. Make sure to check the show all courses box, and you will have additional courses that you can download and play from that Patreon server. So, only takes a minute to add, and that's all there is to it. So why would you subscribe to one of these course designers' Patreons? Well, for one, if you keep track of the courses that you like, your favorite courses, you may notice that you actually have a favorite designer. And so this is a way that you can support that designer. A lot of the stuff that they do, ends up in GSPro. These guys are the ones that are doing the most courses, and they're also tackling like some of the famous courses and putting them out there typically in game so that everyone can enjoy them. So if you like one particular designer's work, this would be a great way to support them. The other reason might be if you're looking for particular courses or like practice facilities. They may be in their Patreon that they have not released into the game. And in my case, like I spend 90% of my time in the simulator doing wedge practice. So I really like short par 3 courses that I can move the tees up and kind of play like pitch and putt style under 100 yards. So I'm looking for those kinds of courses, and then also any kind of unique practice facilities that kind of can keep practice interesting. So in the case of TechBud, he's got a couple of par 3 courses on his Patreon. There's Lil Wick, which is a 9-hole course in Arizona that really am liking. And then he's got some really unique kind of practice facilities. One is the Arizona State University golf team's practice facility. It's really cool. I've seen like YouTube videos of it in real life. And my favorite part of that is they've got this kind of wedge game that I believe Phil Mickelson kind of has at his house and consulted and had them put it in at Arizona State. It's these tiny little greens that are super small, but they level up 15 yards at a time. And you can just sit there and hit to the 30, then the 45, then the 60, and work your way all the way down. And they actually have kind of, I don't know if they're steel plates or whatever in the middle, but if you hit those, it kind of makes a gong sound. So you can definitely have fun with that. I am enjoying it. And so you get kind of unique stuff like that. There's also, TechBud has a course called Island Greens and Island Greens Elite. It's a kind of a fantasy deal that is really cool. Basically on greens on piers over the ocean with, mountains in the background and all that. You can hear the waves in the ocean crashing while you're hitting to these greens. Pretty awesome. Like I said, just different ways to keep practice interesting. And a lot of these guys will make these courses, put them on their Patreon, and then after a while, maybe they'll release them to the GSPro game and let everyone play. It just varies depending on how they want to do it, but obviously they've got to keep certain things in there to provide to the Patreon subscribers. So now, one of the misconceptions that I've seen, at least just from one person online, was that and then this person did not have GSPro, and they were already complaining, well, GSPro is a ripoff. All the good courses are behind a paywall, and you have to subscribe to a Patreon to get all the good courses. Nothing could be further from the truth. I think at this time there's over 700, or maybe just approaching 700 courses in the game. Patreon is a tiny percentage of courses compared to the 700 in the game, and that's growing every week. I'm sure it's going to be over 1,000 soon. Typical one of these Patreon designers might have 20, 30, 40 courses in there. Like in the case of TechBud, he has released 100 plus in game, and some of the more famous ones that he's just putting out there for free to let everyone enjoy. So the actual number of courses that are in people's Patreons is just a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage. The other thing that guy said was, what? Oh, the actual premium courses are in the Patreons. That's not the case at all. There may be, one or two, but still, it's just nothing compared to what is in the GSPro game. So that is just way off base. You can enjoy GSPro 100% without subscribing to any Patreon whatsoever. That's just not the case at all. Now, I did mention that if you're looking to have a your own home course built, one of these designers on Patreon is probably your best bet, because you know that they are doing this for a fee. So that's kind of a good place to start, is reach out and get a quote from one of them. And on that note, I am working with Pac-Man to build my home course, and we're going to turn that into at least, one video, if not a series of videos, while we are working together to get that course built. That'll be coming early next year, so make sure to subscribe if you're not already so that you can see that. So guys, I hope this video was helpful in clearing up some of this stuff. Go on to Patreon and check out some of these designers' work, and definitely support them if you choose to. See you next time, guys.